So welcome to today's Wedge Wednesday, and today we're going to just talk about the basic chip and run shot from off the edge of the green, and a couple of little points that are going to help you with this shot. So we've touched on a few of these things before, and just a couple of key points. Let's make sure we keep the ball in the center. Let's adopt a fairly narrow stance. So as a measure, you just want to be able to get the club head in between your heels. And let's keep the stance relatively square. I'm not a big fan of people trying to aim way to the left. Normal grip, hands a bit lower down on the handle. Just push the handle a little forward. And I always quite like the look when people are chipping and getting in there pretty close, so the handle gets raised up a little bit. You're going to feel quite close to the ball. And don't worry if you feel like the heel of the club is slightly up and off the ground, and almost just look for the underneath of your arms to just rest up against your rib cage there. I quite like that as a feeling. I don't want you out over here, so you can just sort of stand up, rest your arms up against the rib cage, lower yourself forward, and then we're up and into position. And then really this shot should be one of the more straightforward ones, just allowing the arms to move backwards and forwards. I think the problem we've got right now is there's too much talk about people utilizing the bounce, and I think we're seeing lots of golfers adopt this kind of motion through the ball, this sort of very wristy action, which I feel is causing a lot of the poor strikes. So be careful. I don't mind the base of the sole of the club touching the ground. I'm not utterly convinced you want to get the bounce of the club in there. I think that's going to lead to the shaft leaning backwards, and then the golf club catches the ball about halfway up. So as a little drill to help alleviate that, take your normal chipping setup as we just showed you, but just open up that right hand so you feel your right hand is against the back of the handle, and then just make strokes and keep the back of the hand against the handle. If you feel it's coming off, then there's a good chance that left wrist is breaking down a little bit. So this is a lovely way of just practicing and keeping the wrist angles intact and encouraging this ball first strike. You're not looking to try and throw this thing up and in the air a great deal when we're playing this shot. Remember, we touched on this last time. If at all possible, get the thing along the ground and running first. You're only going to play that flop shot as a last resort. So this one's a great shot to play. So once again, ball in the center, feet relatively narrow. Just get the feeling of the arms just up against your rib cage. You'll definitely feel like you're a little closer to the ball and the handle a little forward. And then just keeping that right palm open but against the back of the handle. Just play some little shots and become very aware of where the right hand is on the club. And that really creates a nice ball first strike. I can now control the trajectory. If I can do that, I can then control where the carry distance is. So open palm for chipping. It's a great little drill to work on. It's really going to help you with your strike.